January 8, 1610, a moon was discovered. It orbited Jupiter and was found by a homemade telescope. Galileo Galilei is the man credited for finding the moon that we call Europa. The name Europa comes from a princess in Greek mythology who was captured by Zeus. Galileo would proceed to find 3 other moons on the same day and name them all after Zeus's lovers. Jupiter is a planet with 95 officially recognized moons, yet this is one of the most well-known ones of them all. What makes this moon so special? Well, in order to understand this, it is important that we understand the history of Europa. What you see here is the first ever photograph of this moon. Pioneer 3 took off in 1973 and grabbed the first ever image of this moon. Following this, in 1977, Voyager 1 would take off. This was a very important mission as it gave us our first ever clear picture of Europa, but this would shortly be outdone by Voyager 2, giving us our first ever clear photos of the surface. Scientists quickly noticed the lack of craters on this surface. This could indicate many things about the surface of Europa, one of them being the possibility of water. Another hint at this is all of the cracks, indicating an ice surface with an ocean under. However, one of the greatest discoveries would come through the Galileo mission. In this mission, scientists realized that Jupiter's magnetic field was disrupted by Europa. This led scientists to believe that Europa had a magnetic field. This may stem from a layer of liquid under Europa's surface that may carry electricity, aka an ocean. This diagram best illustrates what we believe to be in each layer of Europa. If there truly is an ocean under the ice surface, then Europa has 2 or 3 times more water than all of the oceans on Earth combined. Based on what humans know from our experience, water equals life. The surface of the planet that we live on is 71% water. So if there is one place to look for life in the solar system, this is a great spot. Water on this moon is not yet confirmed, but it may soon be. On October 14th of 2024, Europa Clipper was launched. This is the first ever mission with the #1 objective to explore Europa. Previous missions were just to explore Jupiter or all of its moons. They led us to learn about Europa, but that wasn't the #1 objective of the mission. This time it is. Europa Clipper is set to reach Jupiter on April of 2030. In its orbit of Jupiter, it will have 49 close flybys of Europa. Questions that Europa Clipper plan to answer are as follows. What is the geology of Europa? Is it active? What are the ice and water like? Does Europa actually have an ocean? If everything goes according to plan, then these are questions that will be answered within the next 5 years. According to Europa Clipper project scientist Bob Paparaldo, the Europa Clipper contains technology that allows you to see through ice, which is perfect for confirming the existence of the ocean. While much of Europa remains a mystery, let's focus on the things that we do know about it. Europa has a diameter of 1,940 miles. It is smaller, but still very similar in size to Earth's moon. However, it is larger than the dwarf planet Pluto. It orbits Jupiter every 3.5 days. It is considered one of the 4 Galilean moons, the other 3 being Io, Ganymede, and Callisto. Although Europa is one of Jupiter's larger overall moons, it is still the smallest Galilean moon. Europa is in the middle of Io and Ganymede. It orbits Jupiter twice as fast as Ganymede. It orbits twice as slow as Io. It's around 417,000 miles away from Jupiter and 500 million miles away from the Sun. So with this in mind, Europa Clipper taking 5.5 years to reach Europa from October 2024 to April 2030 begins to make more sense. It's estimated to be around 4.5 billion years old, just like the rest of the solar system. The surface, however, is an estimated 40 to 90 million years old. Looking past the ocean beneath the surface, Europa is also thought to have an iron core. The ice surface of Europa has an estimated depth from 40 to 100 miles deep. So if there really is life in that sea, you're going to have to do a lot of digging. One orbit around the sun for Europa is the equivalent of 4,333 days on Earth. That's the equivalent of 11 years and 8 months. Europa and the other Galilean moons are believed to have been made up through the leftovers of Jupiter. While so much of Europa remains a mystery, it is still a sign of hope of life. This moon story is just beginning, and within the next 10 years we are going to find more about it than ever. Maybe this is the spot for life.